Hello, welcome back to World Fact Finder. In this episode, we will discuss 50 random facts spanning a spectrum of subjects. You ready? Let's get started. Number 1. Hitler Museum Bomb Plot. In an attempt to assassinate Hitler, a Nazi officer named Rudolf Christoph von Gersdorff hid 2 time bombs in his jacket and led Hitler on a tour of a museum. Hitler raced through the museum and left before the bombs exploded. Rudolf therefore had to rush to the bathroom, where he defused the bombs at the last second. Number 2. A football player lied to his team about being in graduate school. The Baltimore Ravens thought that John Urschel was taking classes at MIT part-time. The team did not know that he was a full-time PhD math student. Urschel studied from the end of the Sunday games until practice on Tuesday. Number 3. Keanu Reeves grew up with such showbiz connections that Alice Cooper was once his babysitter. Number 4. The 20Q, 20 Questions, handheld game, a toy released in 2003 and famous for its scary level of accuracy, actually used a basic implementation of an AI neural network. It used training data gathered from users of a web-based implementation of the game, which launched in 1994. Number 5. Mark McGwire's 70th home run was caught by fan Phil Ozerski. After the Cardinals offered him a signed bat, ball, and jersey for baseball, Ozerski asked to be able to meet McGwire too in this exchange, but McGwire said no. Ozerski kept the baseball, which he later sold for over $3 million. Number 6. Keith Richards' Lennon Pursuit. After John Lennon's murder, Keith Richards, who was a few miles south of the Dakota at the time, got his own gun and went searching through the streets for the killer. Number 7. On August 27, 1853, Abraham Lincoln led a ceremony by the railroad tracks in Lincoln, Illinois, to mark the founding of the new town named after him. Lincoln christened the railroad track side with watermelon juice. Number 8. The Seinfeld episode The Contest was based on a real-life bet Larry David made against a friend of his to find out who could go the longest without masturbating. The amount of the bet is unknown. However, it lasted only a few days, resulting in David winning. Number 9. Nearly half of South Korean residential rentals use the Jonts system, where the renter gives an interest-free loan to the landlord based on the house's price in lieu of rent. Number 10. Seuss didn't have a big hit until age 53, when Cat in the Hat was published. He resisted writing his own life story and only sat down for 2 interviews near the end, when he was dying from cancer. Number 11. King's Custom Chairs. The King of Tonga, Taufa Ahau IV, stood at a towering height of 195 centimeters, 6 feet 5 inches, and weighed an impressive 195 kilograms, 440 pounds. During his visits to Germany, the German government specially commissioned chairs to support his weight, which he took home, considering them state gifts. Number 12. Actresses Kate and Rooney Mara hail from NFL families. Their mother belongs to the family that owns the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Rooneys, while their father is part of the family that owns the New York Giants, the Maras. Number 13. Yi Sun-sin, the legendary Korean admiral who never lost a battle against the Japanese, often emerged victorious against overwhelming odds. Surprisingly, before the onset of that war, he had never commanded a naval battle. Initially a cavalry officer, he had only been in the Navy for 2 years. Number 14. Tolkien faced a moral dilemma while creating orcs. Intended to be a purely evil race for the heroes to vanquish without remorse, the orcs demonstrated an awareness of morality and could communicate. According to Tolkien's beliefs, this complexity suggested they couldn't be entirely evil and should be shown mercy if possible. Number 15. The Sphinx, constructed around 4,500 years ago, was buried in sand approximately 400 years after its completion. In 1400 BC, Thutmose IV attempted to excavate the Sphinx, but only succeeded in uncovering its front paws. It remained largely buried until 1887 AD, enduring nearly 4,000 years of obscurity. Number 16. Sacred Lake Ownership Dispute. For thousands of years, the Syilx people and other Canadian First Nations have revered a sacred medicine lake, adorned with 365 naturally formed spots. Despite a non-Indigenous individual's attempt to convert it into a spa, ownership of the lake was reclaimed by the First Nations, necessitating permission for visitation. Number 17. Roman Emperor Tiberius once personally resolved a murder case. A senator's wife tragically fell from a window. Upon hearing the husband's testimony, Tiberius opted to inspect the scene himself. His examination revealed signs of struggle, leading to a report to the Senate. Subsequently, the husband was found guilty. Number 18. In 1984, Marvel secured trademarks including Hulk Hogan, Hulkster, and Hulkamania for a span of 20 years, while the WWF agreed to refrain from referring to Hogan as Incredible or Hulk, and from dressing him in purple or green attire. Additionally, Marvel received $100 for each Hulk Hogan match and 10% of earnings under this name. Number 19. Prior to the 1872 photo series Horse in Motion, the mechanics of a galloping horse's leg movements remained a mystery due to its rapid pace, imperceptible to the naked eye. Before this discovery, horses were often depicted with their legs stretched out at both ends, a portrayal inconsistent with any actual horse gait. Number 20. Pistachios have a tendency to undergo spontaneous combustion, necessitating stringent precautions during mass transport. Number 21. Frankfurt's Mediterranean microclimate. Frankfurt boasts a neighborhood with a Mediterranean microclimate, thanks to sunlight reflecting off the river and wind resistance, where even palms and bananas flourish, known as the Nidza. Number 22. Sutton's Law of Medicine advocates considering the most obvious diagnosis first. Derived from a purported interview with bank robber Willie Sutton, who explained his choice of target by stating, "Because that's where the money is." Number 23. Nazi officer Otto Skorzeny faced a war crime trial for allegedly deploying American military uniforms in battle, but was acquitted after successfully arguing that they had discarded the uniforms before engaging in combat. Later, he was liberated from prison by individuals disguised in American military attire. Number 24. 3 sailors who perished in Pearl Harbor have incorrect dates inscribed on their gravestones. Trapped underwater in the West Virginia battleship for 16 days post-bombing, their ordeal remained largely concealed, with most of their relatives passing away unaware of the truth. Number 25. Astronaut Scott Kelly received compensation at a rate of $70 per hour from NASA until his retirement, whereupon his pay was reduced to $10 per hour to account for debriefings and participation in medical tests. Kelly accumulated 520 days in space across 4 missions. Number 26. Danny DeVito's Penguin Love Story. Danny DeVito, known for portraying the Penguin in 1992's Batman Returns, penned a comic book narrative providing the Penguin with the romantic partner he coveted in the film, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. Titled Bird-Cat Love, the story depicts the duo combating a pandemic together. DeVito sought approval from Pfeiffer prior to publication. Number 27. Gene Simmons, a member of the band Kiss, felt flattered upon discovering he had a Pokémon look-alike. Number 28. In 1960, Tom and James Monahan purchased Dominic's, a small pizzeria, for $1,400. James, unwilling to resign from his postman position, exchanged his share of the business with Tom for the VW Beetle utilized for deliveries. Subsequently, Tom acquired 2 additional pizzerias, laying the groundwork for Domino's Pizza. Number 29. Despite his deafness, severe visual impairment, stemming from a head injury, and status as the shortest soldier in his company, Roger Young posthumously received the Medal of Honor for single-handedly neutralizing a Japanese machine gun nest during World War II, sacrificing his life in the process. Number 30. At the North Pole, local time is non-existent as all lines of longitude and, consequently, all time zones converge at this point. With the sun rising and setting only once annually, synchronizing time using the sun's position is impractical. Number 31. Anthony Babington's remarkable recovery. Anthony Babington's journey from severe brain damage is remarkable. Injured severely during World War II to the extent that his girlfriend left him, he found himself unable to speak and paralyzed on his right side. However, Babington persevered, relearning speech and writing, eventually becoming a lawyer and judge, and authoring numerous books. Number 32. Pressured to meet an airmail contract deadline, a British aircraft manufacturer hastily designed a passenger airliner in just 4 months in 1934. Unfortunately, the resulting plane suffered from numerous design flaws, leading to 3 fatal crashes immediately after its introduction. Number 33. The sound of running water triggers beavers' instinct to build. If a speaker emits the sound of running water, a beaver will construct a dam, even if it's placed on concrete with no visible water. Number 34. In 2001, an Australian hacker, armed with only a laptop and a radio transmitter, infiltrated a local sewage system in Queensland and diverted municipal sewage into parks, rivers, and public lands as an act of revenge against the department that denied his hiring request. Number 35. The burglary tools featured in the film Thief, 1981, were not mere props, but actual tools, with the actors receiving training in their use. These tools were provided by real-life thieves who served as technical consultants on the film. Number 36. Historic Austrian restaurant legacy. Peter Stift's Culinarium, a restaurant in Austria, has been in operation since 803 AD, making it the oldest continuously operating restaurant in the world. Its esteemed clientele purportedly included historical figures such as Christopher Columbus, Johann Georg Faust, and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Number 37. When Augustus Caesar reached adulthood, he often had to attend the temple under the cloak of darkness to evade the attention of older noblewomen, who were drawn to his comeliness and youthful charm. Number 38. The halftime show of Super Bowl 23 in 1989 featured an Elvis impersonator named Elvis Presto, with not a single authentic Elvis song performed. Number 39. The country of Brunei observes a 2-day weekend, but it falls on Friday and Sunday, thus rendering them non-consecutive. Number 40. Samuel Colt, in his efforts to secure investment for his firearms, hosted laughing gas parties across America, presenting himself as a doctor and conducting demonstrations with nitrous oxide. Number 41. Realistic movie villain analysis. The Journal of Forensic Sciences analyzed 400 movies and 126 fictional villains, concluding that Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men was the most realistic villain. Number 42. The first digital computer, ENIAC, was programmed by 6 women in the 1940s. Fran Billis, Betty Jennings, Ruth Lichterman, Kay McNulty, Betty Snyder, and Marlyn Westkoff. Unfortunately, their contributions were overlooked for decades, despite laying the foundation for modern computing. Number 43. Shannon Lee, daughter of Bruce Lee, made a cameo appearance as a party singer performing California Dreamin' in her father's biopic, Dragon, the Bruce Lee Story. Number 44. Leonard Lake, a notorious serial killer responsible for the abduction, abuse, and murder of at least 11 people in the 1980s, was apprehended after accidentally providing police with the ID of one of his victims, Robin Stapley, in an attempt to pass it off as his own. Number 45. Lincoln's cabinet comprised a team of rivals, notably William Seward, who was initially resentful and condescending toward the president. Over time, however, the two developed a close personal friendship, spending many evenings bonding over stories, humor, and politics, much to the chagrin of other cabinet members. Number 46. Lost Silent Hill Game Scenario. A Boy's Scenario, a Silent Hill visual novel for the Game Boy Advance that revisited events from the first game, allowed players to assume the role of Andy. However, accessing this portion of the game required a now unavailable peripheral, rendering it lost to the gaming world forever. Number 47. In 1990, telephone company US West replaced 18 push-button payphones with rotary dial payphones as part of an effort to combat drug trafficking. This change was prompted by the fact that most pagers used by drug dealers only functioned with calls from push-button phones. Number 48. The frenzy surrounding Lionel Messi's potential move to Inter Miami has necessitated his own personal bodyguard team of 50 individuals. Led by Yasmin Chukwu, who was recommended by David Beckham, this team accompanies Messi everywhere, even patrolling the touchline during games. Number 49. In 2014, a Belgian math teacher disciplined his class by threatening to reveal spoilers from Game of Thrones, having read the books that, at the time, were ahead of the show. Number 50. From 1969 to 1972, Ford offered their cars in a color called anti-establishment mint. Thanks for watching. Like and comment if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications so you don't miss the next interesting facts. See you in our next video.